I absolutely love hammock camping. And as a scoutmaster, I shared that love of hammock camping with all of my boys. Well, this year, that created a problem. We ended up at our last camp out with 6 different people who wanted to hang up hammocks, and we did not have enough trees to hang up all those hammocks. So since I created the problem, I figured that I had to do something about it. I did a little bit of research and found this idea on the internet, and I wanted to share it with you in the video today. What we're going to do is we're going to create a setup that will allow you to hang as many hammocks off of a tree as you want. You basically just hang them off of the tree like they were spokes on a wheel. The items that it's going to require to do this are, for each setup, you're going to need either a 6 or 7 foot long T fence post. You're going to need about a 5 foot length of chain. You're going to need a couple of quick links. You're going to need a good quality ground anchor. You can see this actually on the bottom looks like a drill bit. So this is actually going to drill into the ground and hold the post in place. This is just a spike that I use to turn to make it easier to put the ground anchor in. And then I've got pliers to tighten the quick links. The other item that I've got, which makes things very handy, is a fence post tool. So what I have here now is a hammock that is tied off to the tree on one end. I make sure that I have enough distance, and then I'm going to take my fence post and I'm going to drive it in at about a 45-degree angle, like so. And I'm driving it in just to the top of the blade, or about 6 inches. So now I have my fence post in place. I'm going to take one of my quick links, and I drilled a hole in the top of the fence post. And now I'm just going to mount my chain in here and screw that quick link closed. Now the next thing that I need to do is put my ground anchor in. My ground anchor I want at about 45 degrees going down into the ground. This is going to create the proper angle when I hang the hammock. So I'm going to start the ground anchor, get a couple of turns, and then when it gets really hard to turn, I'm just going to take this spike and I'm going to turn it in the rest of the way. And you can see it will go into very, very hard ground. It'll work its way around rocks, but you want to drive this in till you only have a couple of inches of this anchor still standing out. That's pretty good. And notice the orientation. I have the eye facing towards the tree. Then I take my other quick link, put it at the end of the chain here, and put it onto the hook. Now I just close the quick link. And that is my setup. Now, come over here and I grab the other end of my hammock, pull this up, make it nice and tight, and I'm just going to put a couple of half hitches in here to temporarily hold it to show you that it works. Okay, now we've got both of our hammocks set up. My son's Hennessy hammock is set over here. My Clark hammock is set over here. What we've done is we've used just a single tree, and if I wanted to, I could probably add 2 or 3 more hammocks on the other side of the tree by just having additional fence posts. The materials that I used where for each setup you've got one 7-foot fence T-post, you've got one 5-foot piece of chain, you've got a couple of quick links to hook the chain into the hole that I drilled in the top of the post, and then down here you've got the ground anchor that I showed you earlier driven into the ground pretty much the whole way. A couple of things to pay attention to. I have about 120 degrees between the hammock and the chain, and this post pretty much cuts that angle in half, so this way all of the forces are pushed down this post in compression, so there's no twisting and it's a very stable setup. One really important thing that I learned through some trial and error on this is that everything has to be lined up. You have to have your ground stake, your chain, your post, everything in alignment with the tree and with the hammock. Because if you have the base of the post off to the side, you get a twisting movement that the fence post won't handle. You have to have everything, all the forces going straight down this length, otherwise this is not going to work. But thanks to me, mainly through my fault, in our Boy Scout troop, we now have 6 different hammocks that we have to set up. Like I said earlier, on our last outing, we didn't have enough trees. Therefore, I did some research. We came up with this system. Now, we got a system where as long as we got 1 or 2 trees, we can pretty comfortably set up as many hammocks as we want. We just run them out, you know, in a circle from the tree, and total expense for each setup is probably less than $20. It's very doable for any troops that are using hammocks. This is not something you backpack with, obviously, because when you backpack you've got lots of trees, but if you're in a group camp and you're limited on trees, it's a great system to be able to use to be able to hang all of your hammocks. So with that, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Please subscribe to my channel, and hey, take your kids camping.